What's going on, everybody, and welcome to my conclusion for Dark Souls 2's Crowns Trilogy DLC. Crown of the Sunken King, Crown of the Old Iron King, and Crown of the Ivory King. All of which I did full playthroughs through, blind, and I gotta say, overall the DLC as a full was good. I enjoyed it. If you'd like to hear my full thoughts on each of the DLCs separately, you can go watch my playthroughs. At the end of each playthrough I gave my thoughts on what I thought about the gameplay, the design, the lore, the levels, the enemies, all the whole thing put together, and what I fully thought of each DLC individually. But as a general note, the DLCs as a full were really good, and I thought they were a great addition to Dark Souls 2's story and gameplay, really completing the full essence of the game. So what this video will be is a conclusion to the Crowns Trilogy as a whole. There is actually somewhat of an ending to not just the Crowns Trilogy, but Dark Souls 2 in general. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to go through the DLCs and show off all the little things I missed, the things I want to make note of. I mean, there are plenty of like enemy drops and items like that that you could easily miss, but I wanted to make note of just a few of the bigger things I missed playing through the DLC blind because, you know, I was blind my first time through. And since long I've played through them quite a few times and found just about everything you can find in them. The only thing I missed in the Crown of the... Ooh, right there, did you see it? That is just probably one of the... That has got to be the most well-hidden secret door in the entire game, hands down. Because you got to hit it as you're going up the lift, and then once it comes back down, you can come into this room to find a secret chest that nets you... Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Hollow skin. A hollow skin was actually... it's a cool little headpiece. It's kind of more of a mask, I suppose. But, it was actually something that I know me and Dusty had talked about way back in the day in Dark Souls 1, wanting to... you can technically do that to yourself if you can curse yourself now. But appearing hollow is one thing they actually really don't have, is appearing hollow when human, which would have been a cool ring, and which is what I wish this mask did. But you wear it and it gives you a very creepy looking face. And the thing about the face is if you note the stats on the left there, which, how do I get to that? It gives you 1000 curse resistance. So with curse resistance that high, you actually cannot be cursed, which is extremely helpful in multiple situations. In the forest with the any curse jars anywhere, they can't curse you at all. Fighting Nashandra, she cannot curse you. You can't be cursed. And actually in this DLC itself, anywhere there's a cursed version of Nadalia, Bride of Ash, also, you cannot be cursed as long as you're wearing hollow skin. So, a very helpful head item, actually. And again, pretty well hidden. I really like the way this is hidden away here. And believe it or not, that was actually the only thing I missed in my entire run of the Iron King playthrough. Actually, one of the very few things I actually missed in the Ivory King was this chest right here. I never saw it my first time through. And it actually has a pretty decent item inside of it. So I'm going to have to kill all these guys, and once I do, I'll be back to open the chest. Let's see, can I get this open? Open the chest. Yes! Curved Nil Greatsword. So the Curved Nil Greatsword, other than being a fairly guarded weapon, and a fairly unique weapon in both the way it looks and its moveset, it's got the moveset of a Curved Greatsword, obviously it's in that category, but it's got some interesting R2s, two-handed and one-handed, and I don't know, it's got a good feel to it. I like Curved Greatswords. The Murakumo is one of my favorite weapons, and it's too bad I missed on this, because this was really good. I use this on my quality build now sometimes. It has a very unique effect in where the further you are in New Game Plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the stronger the sword gets. So if you're having trouble in higher New Game Pluses, the Curved Nil Greatsword is going to be your best friend. Okay, so back in the Grand Cathedral. This, I'm pretty torn on. So when we were down fighting the Burnt Ivory King's Chaos army and himself, we kept having guys come out through the door. And I like this concept of coming here and not really being able to defeat the boss. So you're just too overwhelmed between all the soldiers. It's just too much to handle. Lois Souls. The thing about this is, to get a secret, to have Alsana, whom is my favorite of all the, like, Nasandra and all the other queens and stuff, to have her destroy all the ice leading up to her, and to get up to her to get special items, which I'm not sure of all the items that I get, but to get that, you have to have 50 Lois Souls, Loy's Souls, going through the best way, there's kind of like three ways. You either get all the knights and then keep killing them and wear, items to get more drops and then leave before you take on the boss. You have the knights with you. You do co-op, which I was doing a lot of co-op earlier, and even as a summon, you can get drops helping a host, so a lot of people were doing that and just leaving before they even took on the Ivory King and then teleporting out and resummoning and going back down. Basically, it's a grind fest, and sometimes I like grinding and sometimes I don't. When I thought about it, I realized that there is some grinding in Dark Souls. You never need to grind, but there is a bit of grinding in the game. But this is like forced grinding, and a lot of forced grinding. I should have counted the amount of time I spent here because the drops do not drop often. The Loy Souls, they do not drop often. The soldiers are not easy to kill. In the end, I ended up going down there and working out a decent system, continuously killing them all over and over again as they came out of the door, because yeah, if you're down there on your own like I was, you were taking on 3 at a time, and that's really difficult. They're not pushovers. So in the end, after hours and hours and hours of fucking grinding, I finally got 50 Loy Souls. Depending on the reward, I know it's decent, but I don't think I'll ever end up doing this again. It really wasn't fun. Like, it took just too long. Even with the new patch here, getting more frequent drops, I just couldn't even imagine what it must have been like before. So, my gosh, let's do this. Let's present these souls to her.
I sense a night's joyous elation. Kind visitor, please accept my gratitude.
Voice armor.
I sense a night's joy.
Voice helm. I already got, I think, the gauntlet.
I sense a close by.
And okay, good. I was gonna say, I was like 50. Come on, okay. And yeah, it's actually pretty cool. This is, I know it takes forever, and I really don't like it for being such a grind. It's really annoying and not fun to do, even with co-op, which is probably the most tolerable way to do it. But getting up to her, which isn't something I thought you'd be able to do, is pretty damn cool. And she's kind of cool looking. I like her.
Kind visitor, I am not the only being born of dark. You will face hardship like no other. Take this. My sisters are as a thick dark, their lust for souls insatiable. May you find the will to resist their desires.
Soul of Ulsana, Silent Oracle.
Go on, kind visitor. May you reach your journey's end one day. Go on, may...
Soul of Ulsana, Oracle Elam Lois, who prays Silent Vigil. This child of dark is in reverence of the apocalypse devoted to herself for a ritual. It hopes appeasing the rage of flame. The wanderous soul of this argument of fear can only be acquired through numerous souls to create something of great worth. It's just like the charged Lois Helms, which you'll get plenty of those. But it's, uncharged, so cool, I guess. And I believe I'm not mistaken, if you're a female character and you're wearing the pieces, which I am, that gives you back health per kill. So that's kind of cool, at least. There it is. Elam Lois. It's just called Elam Lois. Soul of Ulsana. Silent Oracle. Okay. Oh, it's got an S scaling and dexterity, has faith along with it, and strength, so nothing I could wield, but I kind of want to get it. I don't believe there's anything else we can use her soul for. So the Elam Lois is a pretty cool looking weapon. I mean, there's nothing quite like that in the game. I think it has a moveset similar to the Shotel, so it's kind of interesting. It's not a lot of movesets like that. And the really cool thing about this weapon is its effect, as you get a kill, it gives health back to your co-op partners. So if you're a phantom co-oping with a host or other phantoms, as you get kills, they get health back. Like, that's the ultimate, Sunbro weapon right there. That's awesome. So, really cool weapon right there. I might use that in the future. I like that. Very unique effect. Nothing quite like that. Okay, and if we go over and visit Mullen, we can actually now buy the full Ivory King set. Pretty cool. Out of all the kings, I think the Ivory King was my favorite, based on the lore background I know with him. So he's a pretty cool king overall, and his armor is pretty badass. And I think the only way to buy his armor, you might just be able to just kill him and get it. I'm not sure if you had to do, because I didn't go check to Mullen until now, but I think just killing him, you can probably come here and buy his armor, but getting Alsana definitely would do it if killing the Ivory King alone doesn't. One more thing we have to check is now that all of the DLCs are completed. Yes, the Longsword, the Murakumo, the Black Steel Katana, and the Great Club. The Great Club looks different. The Black Steel Katana is actually white. The Murakumo is blue, and I like the blue Murakumo. And the Longsword I was unsure of. Let me see if I can check that real quick. And Fire Longsword? They don't look any different. That's what I was wondering. That or I'm looking at the wrong wrong longsword, because that could be possible. But let's see. Oh, there it is. Ah, okay, it's a little different. It's kind of like a different, like the handle's blue, and the blade looks a little bit whiter. Like there's the different longsword, and there's the regular. Yeah, it's much brighter. That's kind of cool. It's interesting that it's so much further down. So there's the longsword with the white handle. It's pretty cool. There is the Great Club, and the Great Club looks considerably different. And there's the Black Steel Katana, but it's actually more like the White Steel Katana. It's got a black blade, but it's got a white handle. I actually like the way that looks a lot more. Okay, so now that we've wrapped up everything I missed in the DLCs, it's time to go see Vendrick.
Seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. I am Vendrick, ruler of Drang Lake. Seeker of fire, deliverer of crowns. What do you see in the flames? Find the crowns and your own answers. The crowns hold the strength of lords from times long past. Seek adversity, as befits you, seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. Seeker of fire, conqueror of dark. I too sought fire once. With fire, they say, a true king can harness the curse. A lie, but I knew no better. Seeker of fire, you know not the depth of dark within you. It grows deeper still, the more flame you covet. Flame, oh, flame. Seeker of fire, I see you've subdued another foul creature. One of the father of the abyss spawn. That confounded quintessence of humanity. The abyss once had form, but then dissipated. And yet, traces of its existence endured. Each fragment, thirsting for power, spread dark with no relent. My dear Chandra was one such fragment. A feeble, tiny thing that thirsted for power more than any other, driven by insatiable lust for a worthy vessel. One day fire will fade, and dark will become a curse. Men will be free from death, left to wander eternally. Dark will again be ours, and in our true shape, we can bury the false legends of yore. Only, is this our only choice? Seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. Seek strength. The rest will follow.
So now that we've united all the crowns, if we were to die, we no longer hollow. So that's pretty cool. From a gameplay perspective, that's great. Like, you know, you die now and you don't hollow, so there's almost no consequence of death other than just losing your souls and having to go bit them back up again. But from like a lore perspective, that's huge. That's like all these other kings have, you know, risen to power and then fallen, and now we have united all the crowns under basically us, which now we are like the true monarch. And yeah, we found, I guess, not really a cure to the curse, but a way to go around it, or just a way for it not to affect us. So that's it, guys. That's everything I wanted to show off pertaining to Dark Souls 2's Crowns DLC. It's been a long ride through the whole game and then through the DLCs, but I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. Easily one of my favorite games of all time. I had a lot of fun playing this, from the gameplay to the story to the continuation of Dark Souls 1 to the conclusion we got here with the DLC on top of all that. Was just, it was great. But for now, this is where I'm going to end things off. So I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, I'll catch you later.